Perfect. So I think we'll let the audience join in and we would start now. So once again, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining today. Uh, we see a lot of people have shown interest and they want to understand more about the power of AI, which has been the buzzword. So welcome to our session, and we want to talk today more about unlocking the power of AI. And this, we are focusing more on project centric businesses. So, what we'll do is we'll talk about how stakeholders can transform their project management cycle, how the entire Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, and AI can help you do this. And this not only lets you achieve more, but also lets you have better control, gives you better visibility, helps you in collaborating, right from prospects to projects to profitability. So happy to get started today. And my colleague Sebastian is here. He's our Director of Product Development. I'll let him introduce himself. But before we get more on the discussion, I would like to quickly talk about who proMX is and what do we specialize in, what do we bring on table. And yeah, and we'll be happy to take questions and answers in the end. But feel free, guys, to put your concerns, questions in the chat box. Katrina is helping us facilitate this. So with this, let's get started. ProMX, most of you have seen our LinkedIn page and have been following us. So ProMX is a global company. We are Microsoft Dynamics preferred partner. 750 plus employees all across, more than 200 certified experts that we have in-house. Having said that, ProMX is also system integrators, majorly focusing on Dynamics 365, BizApp, Power Platform, and Azure. As an independent software vendor for unique D365 and add-ons, we have close to 12 applications published on the Microsoft App Source. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to check out the apps there. We are also Microsoft Solutions partner for business applications, have been in business for close to 23 years now. Some of the industries that we specialize and focus on is professional services, ITs, automotive, energy, construction, manufacturing, healthcare. So if any one of you are from this industry, you are in the right place. And we'd love to discuss this more with you guys. We also have international subsidiaries in APAC, US, Canada, and Europe. In fact, the good news is right now I'm talking to you from Microsoft Singapore office. And if any one of you is in Singapore and would like to meet us, we can do this anytime this week. So we'll be happy to hear from you. I'll drop my email ID and my contact details in the chat section, and we'll be happy to discuss this one-on-one with you. Like I mentioned, we are a global company. We are headquartered in Germany, and we also have our office in UK, US, Canada, India, and Singapore. And this event, this webinar that we have organized is basically to help all our Singapore business stakeholders, decision makers, and CXOs, where we help them change the way entire project management businesses are operated. And here onwards, I would like to pass the mic to Sebastian, and who's also a director of product development and a recent MVP. So people who don't know what MVP is MVP is a specialized title that you get from Microsoft, which makes you the most valuable professional. And this you get only if you bring a lot of experience, knowledge about project operations, for the community. And I am happy to have Sebastian, who's going to take this further, and he'll help the audience deep dive more about D365. So with this, Sebastian, over to you, and we look forward to have this interesting session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashish. Thank you for that nice introduction.
Sebastian,
Let's
looks like you're
can't
talking,
hear
but
me. Really?
can't hear you.
It's working before. Let me. Um,
Nobody can. Sebastian, are you talking? No,
can
we cannot hear you.
can you hear me right now?
Oh, others
Was
can
working
hear
before too.
Sebastian somehow. Oh, sorry. Yes, I
Does it
can
work
hear him
now?
now.
Yeah, okay, good.
Sorry.
I'm straight coming from vacation, so everything is everything is new. Good. Let me reshare my screen then to take over that little presentation here. Yeah, thank you so much, Ashish, for that introduction. And please interrupt me if I'm not audible again or something changes on my side. Good, perfect. Then, yeah, some small introduction to my side. My name is Sebastian. I work for proMX since yeah, roughly 10 years. Um, I'm the head of product development, as already mentioned, and started with CRM 2011, CRM 4 back in the days, and then we had our own little ISP extension there in the project and resource management section. And after then, Microsoft announced project service automation at this time. We kind of moved our focus, and as well, my focus shifted in this direction, and then I could uh, gain a little bit of knowledge in that area as well. And yeah, since the past years then as well with bridge operations. Um, in case you want to reach out, you do have questions after this call, um, after the session, you may see this on YouTube or something, and you want to reach out. There's a QR code on the screen on this slide. Just reach out. There's a blog if you want to experience more about bridge operations. You can reach to my email address there, my LinkedIn. So just any case, if you want to stay connected, then this is your chance. There will be as well one more QA code in the end of the session. So we will reshare it again. So no worries, we got you covered there. Um, Ashish already introduced a little bit what we want to do today. At a glance, you already passed the first spot on the agenda, so you meet the speaker, and we want to dive in a bit into AI with some numbers, some overviews. So how is it changing the user behavior? We will look into Microsoft Copilot and how that as well takes track on bridge operations. And then at the end, there is as well some demo, and we will talk about as well the key to AI, so what to consider, what is important for you. And then may have as well some time for questions and answers. We may have some time because usually that's the part that's getting crossed out from my agenda because I'm just talking so much. But without further ado, we're gonna start this and then as well have the time for that. So to start just with AI in numbers, so just to give everyone like a brief introduction that we're all on the same page. Um, Actually, ChatGPT of OpenAI was one of the fastest applications to reach 1 million users. So nowadays usually also gets a bit faster if something goes viral or there's some memes around it and things like that, or you want to try it out. But with this exposure and the interest on the market, ChatGPT really reached this number in just a few days, and as well the monthly visits with AI, with OpenAI, and ChatGPT just increased over the time of the usage. I just found numbers till like mid of last year. Um, but I think we will surely have some new numbers in the next weeks. So the overall interest over that whole AI topic, the numbers, the values, the market value, this is all increasing and all covering that interest of the market. And if we look into the numbers of users, so if we talk about users who already work with AI and automation on a daily basis, they first of all they want to use that. So 85% of people they want to be more agile with their daily task and they want to have this automation to not like stick to the same task each and every day. And 89%, so nearly every 9 out of 10 people who's already using it, um, they feel just more fulfilled and more focused on their real task, what they need to take about. Because if you think about, I'm now just coming back from vacation. I enjoyed 2 weeks of the Caribbean sun. Now I come back, I do this webinar, and then I need to go through my mailbox, so through my inbox, and it's just covered with a lot of emails and a lot of email conversations, automated emails from Azure DevOps, for example. There's a lot of traffic coming from different sides, and I would like to have like an assistant that just goes through that and says, okay, there are like 5 topics you need to care about today and tomorrow, and the rest can wait for later. Because right now it just looks floated and bloated up, and I need to really go through every email and cross out everything that is there. And with AI, it would be just much easier to just compress and just save me some time and just make sure that I don't look over something by accident or so. And if we look into not only the active users like me, which are using it perhaps with Outlook or with their daily tasks, if we look as well from a development perspective, then we already have like over 1 million developers who use like AI Copilot in a productive manner. And like it's much more faster just to develop some code artifacts with AI because like there is some recurrency in that. So there's some tasks which you may already have solved. You already have may solved that bug at some point, and um, you can just then need to search through all your code to figure it out and find this snippet. And with AI, you can just then leverage the AI and can just create that function for you. You can search your code for that. You can may as well then ask questions to your chat copilot there to like what is this function even doing, and it can explain like more complex code in like a few seconds just for you to figure out what is the result. And at the moment, we already have like close to half of the code which is currently built on GitHub using the GitHub Copilot across all of the different programming languages. And in general, we have like 20,000 businesses already using that AI capability of GitHub at the moment. And if we now go from the developers to the makers, so the guys who do the Dynamics customizations, to do the Power Apps customization, we do have like overall 65% of them are more satisfied when they use Copilot because they directly have like their chat connection. They do already have like a section where you can ask questions, where things are getting created automatically, with things are getting um, fulfilled automatically, and they don't need to care about recurring questions, for example, again, or for example, they already do have access to documentation, even if it's internally or externally, and they can directly leverage that. So again, we see across all of these 3 different departments, basically, a huge increasement in the productivity, and then really on like focusing what is this all about, what is the nice part on our jobs, and really then bring much more value and benefits to our work. And AI and Copilot not only started like last year when Microsoft announced Copilot, it's already there for a longer time. And actually, I think there's like one screen that starts from 1970, where like they started with the first language models and things like that. Um, I just started here in 2019. It's already pretty packed with the release of AI Builder. So already back in 2019, you may remember all these overcoming presentation with the guy walks into a supermarket and scans the numbers of bottles of Mountain Dews and things like that. And I was always like, yeah, but what is the use case? Where can I use it? I don't go into supermarket and want to count like bottles or something. I want to like really do something productive, and that's done as well. And especially last year, there was so much investment. I not even like I could not even like fit it on one slide. and I have the feeling I need to update that slide once more in the next days. And so if we just go through very rapidly, we start with like the commitment from Microsoft to support and invest into OpenAI as a company, and as well in the announcement of Copilot in March last year, and with all of these investments right now with Azure OpenAI, which we'll see as well today, the Copilot, the chat integration you can use with Microsoft Edge today already. The Copilot web page as well as there. We do have Microsoft Copilot Studio just to arrange all your GPTs and use and leverage the how as well internal data um, for like the best results you can get. And then this all of this stuff then as well gets topped by image generation. So for your presentations, for just maybe making something visual representative, you can use DALL-E and all of these different other image generations to generate new creative pictures, images of the work you want to display, of the message you want to transport, and as well of the vision you do have. And it's much more easier for everyone to access that. And I think everyone of us has at some point played around with GPT or ChatGPT or any other AI just to try out, just to see what happens. What is the answer? What is figuring out? How can I maybe break it or something? How can I build it into some nonsense? But as well, um, I think you would agree with me if, in general, we are all really amazed like how far it is already and how good the answers are, how good the image generation is, as mentioned, and how easy to use it is as for today. If we have yeah, bigger picture about the whole Microsoft stack, how is that built up on the Microsoft side? So on the bottom layer for sure, we do have the Microsoft Cloud, which is then our Azure services, which is then basically foundation for everything that happens on Power Apps, on Azure, on all of the different Dynamics applications. So this is really then our foundation. So we are in that Microsoft Azure ecosystem. On top of that, we do have the AI infrastructure with the foundation models and the tool chains. So this whole data structure that makes it able to connect our data. And then as well, in between that, we do have our AI orchestration. So using that AI capabilities of Microsoft today. And this then all connects to from the backend to the front end to like the customer facing applications like Microsoft Copilot and your Copilots you want to build in the future, all across managed with Copilot Studio. So Copilot Studio is more like the customization, build and design tool, low code tool to work with Copilot on your platform. If we put this a bit further, and then we do see that we do have multiple copilots at the end. So if we just come back from our structure here on the bottom, and then we do have our Microsoft Copilot Studio as it is, or as just mentioned there. We can extend and customize it there, and as well then build custom copilots. And then on top, we do have the Microsoft Copilots, which are already there, which we could already leverage, which we will use and see today. So there's the Copilot for Microsoft 365, and there's then as well the Copilot for sales servers, Power Apps, bridge operations, things like that. There will be much more Copilots in the future, and you can as well then build your own ones. So this then just adds to the whole picture and gives you as an end user and your organization just the very best of all of these AI functionality, which is currently around, just compromised in what it needs to be used for. And yes, we do have multiple copilots, how they align to each other. So in this example, I have just listed a copilot in general. So this is what we use, for example, with Bing, and for example, as well with if you go to copilot.microsoft.com, you can already use it as your chat assistant, very similar to ChatGPT, for example. And then we do have as well Copilot for Microsoft 365 for sales and service, and how they differ between each other. First of all of them have the foundational capabilities. So they do have the LLM in the background. They do have the web grounding. So that means we can leverage the current web information. So everything which is there in the internet, we can leverage like that. And we do have as well the commercial data protection. How that looks like is, usually we should see like a picture there. Let me figure that out. Yeah, there's the picture. And so what we can see here on the difference, what is meant by commercial data protection and enterprise grade data protection, which is the next point. On the left-hand side, we do see that I'm logged in with my work account here. And this is just on Microsoft Bing on the web browser. You do have that little Copilot icon there on the top. And then with enterprise grade data protection, so with an enterprise level data protection, we use Bing Chat Enterprise. So this is connected with my work account from proMX, and then all of these um, data I'm using there, all of the prompts, all of the information that's exchanged here is protected and won't be used for any external data exchange or for learning, for like training the model. This is not the case here. So this all then stays on my side. There is no interaction with OpenAI or Microsoft that they can read my data um, in this section. So this is all secured, and yeah, I can use, for example, this for leverage information on internal data and as well secure data. So this will be all secured. You can always see that there is like this little shield and there's this protected icon there. And as well, again, before I make some changes or some input into the chat window, it as well gives me the information that this is protected. And in comparison with the here, I don't use any work account, so it's not connected to an account, this process session. In that case, I don't have this information and a little bit different of an interface. So just if you want to use that with your private data and perhaps as well data which you from like the office or the environment you're working in, you want to make sure that the chat interface is protected with that. And with the Copilot for Microsoft 365 sales and service, we just get more functionality of that. So we get the grounding from Microsoft Graph to get data, as from my previous example, from, for example, your Outlook, from your calendar. All of this information can be then leveraged in this case, as well from your Microsoft 365 apps. So for example, if we talk about sales data or project operations data, so how my project looks like, how my project plan looks like, all of this information is there. And then as well, the Copilot Studio will be available with them too. And then of course, depending on like which sections you're looking at, if it's sales, service, project operations, then of course there are then role-specific functionalities, which then just getting enhanced on that side. So for example, the Copilot for sales has different features as the Copilot for project operations. Let's start then here a bit from the Copilot side, from the foundation, say from Power Apps side, where like this is not connected to any Dynamics application. So what you can do with Copilot for Power Apps, you can create new Power Apps, of course, no new Dataverse tables, new columns. You can interfere with that, prompt window right there if you go to make.powerapps.com, and then you can directly then build a new application just from scratch, which will be then as well following certain design rules, and as well then help you to create the data model, create all the connections between the relations, the fields you want to do. You can as well use it very nicely for sample data, because you can just create more tables, table records for your new table. And this as well helps, for example, for presentations or things like that. And then as well, you can, for example, use the standalone control in an existing Power App just to analyze your data, just to connect perhaps the chat control to your custom table which is already existing, and just then leverage that information from there. As well, something which I already talked about is Copilot Studio. It was formerly known as Power Virtual Agents. Currently, you have the chance to try it for free. You can go to either the old Power Virtual Agents URL, which I not refer at the moment, or just go to Copilot Studio .microsoft.com, and then you can leverage that functionality there. What you do there is basically create your own Copilot chat experience, and this is what I already mentioned before. This is the low code tool to bring up all the different information from your environment, from your like perhaps personal side, all together into like one chat Copilot. So for example, we use it for internal documentation, so you can upload documents there within like a few seconds. You can as well refer to our websites, for example, so you can very easily build a new Copilot chat and interaction with, for example, your own website of your company, where you have already stored all this information you want to share, and then as well upload internal documentation just to give there more meat on the bones, and then publish that Copilot, for example, to Teams, and it's available to everyone in your organization. We will, for example, do that for support and QA purposes, where we just put in all of the ISV documentation we do have, so all of the different user guides and things like that, and then we do have like a one Copilot chat experience when we do have questions about our products. Why is it like that? Why is it like this? How it should behave when you change this or that? And then you can use then just that chat integration to leverage the data, and you don't need to search through big documentation. So that's very helpful with that. And as well, you can extend this with AI plugins, so you can build as well functionality with that on top. You can bring in as well all of the different connections you do have on the Power Up side. So even though if you may leverage data from different data sources, you can still use it there. You can as well connect to, for example, Outlook connector, or for example, to SharePoint, very popular as well. So you can really then build that Copilot in a way that it benefits you the most in this case. And then there's one more advanced way to leverage AI in general. So this is the AI Studio, and there you will be able to train your large language model with, again, your files and data. You can play around. You do have a little playground there to figure out to try out different language models, and you can as well then completely build your own integration with OpenAI and all of their services. You can as well leverage, for example, the image generation directly from there, and you can use these pre-existing models to train them, to make them more detailed, more defined for your use cases, and as well that all them moves to the new Azure AI Studio, where you then as well can bring in other language models like from NVIDIA or from Meta, and then as well then combine these functionalities and really then create your pro dev experience a bit with that. So this would be then more on the developer side to figure out and to play around with that, and as well, and for example, trigger that functionality through Power Automates and things like that. So that would work with AI Studio in this case. no, let's make that turn, make that corner to Microsoft Copilot and Configurations, how that looks like. So maybe very first of all, very brief introduction into project operations. So project operations is around since October 2020. Previously, it was known as project service automation. And then what happened with that rebranding is that Microsoft combined existing functionality from Project Fully Web, the project service automation, and then as well parts of finance into like one new business application. This makes it a bit like the first cross-platform business application by Microsoft, which then leverages project fully web capabilities for your project planning, for just plan out your task plan to schedule deadlines and things like that. You get all of the information on functionality from project service automation, including, for example, time recording, approvals, all of the sales integration, of course, which is there from the very beginning. So you can directly connect your projects to quotes and orders, and base your quotation and order offering on the project planning connectors, plan out your resources with the scheduling board, find the right resources, staff the project, move on with your project execution. They have a bunch of controlling features with that, and then really then plan out the project in the last detail. Compare what is planned and scheduled in the first place to like how it was actually happening in the project execution, and then the end then as well bill that to your customers, and then with billing to the customers and having the accounting part of that, the Dynamics 365 finance part comes in there with all the capabilities you may know from F&O. So there then as well different deployment types to leverage exactly that functionality you want to expect from that product. So you do have that CE only deployment where you're really just on the customer engagement side, and then really just point out the different functionality on the CRM, customer engagement on the Power App side, but there is as well then the opportunity to integrate whatever there's on your Dynamics with the F&O side, of the finance side. This is then out of the box integrated with the dual write functionality, and then you can just move this whole accounting and invoicing part to the F&O part, to the ERP, which is meant for it. And the Copilot for project operations comes in with 3 features. So we do have a generation of your project plan. So the whole project plan on the project for web integration side will be then just created for you, and you can then as well then use it as a template, make adjustments to it, plan your resources, and use this a bit like as a start to plan out your project. So you don't need always to start from like empty task plan. You can leverage AI for that. I have there as well analyze the risks. So this will be seen in the demo. I don't have a screenshot for that actually, but I do have a screenshot for the perhaps my favorite one of these 3, the internal and external status reporting. So for everyone who wants to or needs to send out like monthly reports, or maybe even like weekly reports to customers, or use it. Oh, just a second. Browser came back. So let's go. So whatever you want to use it for example, for internal reporting or external reporting, sending out to customers. You want to have a summary of your project, how it's currently going, how the current execution looks like. You can leverage that, and it really comes into nice overview. We will see that in the demo. And for that, I need to stop sharing for a moment and come back to my browser, which already was there for a second. Just give me a moment. Yeah, perfect. Therefore, let's start over. I didn't update my Chrome browser, which just caused me an issue, but I hope you can stay with that. Good. We are in project operations. Um, it is right here. So this just comes in as a model-driven application, and yeah, just as a model-driven application. Where do you have it? Right here with that little nice orange icon here. And I do, as a user, I do find like all the information right here. So from my time entries here on the left-hand side, my expenses and approvals, and then as well the project overview. So I do see all my purchases right here, and then as well there's some purchasing information on that. But this is maybe for another demo. So these are my projects. I do have a bunch of them. They're already sitting around. They're basically waiting for me. But let's just create a new project here from scratch. And then just go ahead with that. Um, Usually I talk over the loading times, maybe sometimes needs to wake up a bit. Let me refresh maybe my browser window. As mentioned, I just came back from vacation, and I think maybe my laptop and my connection still wants to make me wait until everything happens. Um, so in general, what we want to do is right now we want to create a new project. I give it a name. In this case, we will do implementation for Dynamics 365 sales and marketing modules. So we do have a customer. Customer is then usually Mr. Controso, right? So we go with Controso here, and we directly can save it. So I can explain it while it's saving and why it's taking me so much time. Um, so for the project, so we gave a name for it. So we want to do a project for our customer. And I really just gave that the name. I just don't know why it takes so long to save. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the time here. It's early in the morning, but usually it should kind of wake up pretty soonish. So I give it a name. We want to do implementation of Dynamics 365 sales and marketing models. So we do have a customer who wants to do that. I then as well passed some little description to it. So the customer expects an implementation of Dynamics 365 sales. This should be extended by custom features. The marketing module should be used as well for later implementation. So this is just like a very brief overview about what is expected in my project, and you can already see um, the elephant in the room. It already popped out automatically every time when I just open that form, and it comes in here from the right-hand side from the panel. You can see it's still in preview, so we still have some limited functionality. These are these free features I mentioned, so you're not really able at the moment to have a um, extended chat experience with that, but you can leverage these free features very freely. So for right now, I close that because I do as well have this functionality right here on the task menu, and I then as well click here, and then I can see that I lied to you. I can only see one feature out of three. But this is fine. For right now, I can only generate a task plan. And I will click on that. So I just created the project. I never clicked on anything else. I just go there to the project, create the record, give it a name, give it a description, and based on the description and name, the AI, the Copilot, will generate my task plan. This is of course, as more information you like put in, as better as your information are on the way out, right? So whatever you put in, you as well get out. So you don't expect from like a two-word description to get like the most sufficient project plan of all time. And yeah, while I'm talking, it's already done. Usually, I wanted to explain why I only see the task plan here, but we will see. But in this case, um, our project didn't start yet. So our project is currently still in like in a new phase, in a planning phase. So there's no bookings on it, there's no time recordings on it. And but as soon as all of this happens, as soon as my project then runs out and starts executing, I get all of the other two options. We will see that in a glimpse. So, but for now, for our task plan, um, I get automatically done. So I just kind of 3 clicks from like creating the project plan to having, or from creating the project to having like a project with some detailed project plan. So that's pretty nice. And it brings me like all of these information. So I want to contact the stakeholders. I want to identify areas for improvement, document like process flows, outline technical specifications, review the design, develop a prototype, create task plans. That's pretty nice. Then as well, define the marketing goals. So really, I get only based on my the topic and the description of the project, what I want to achieve, what I want to um, have there. I just get like all of these tasks I may need to otherwise think about myself and just create them with myself. So you always get like these notes attached as well that this is suggested by AI. So you get the hint, you can remove it if you want. But as well, what you can do is you can use it as a template and then just from here out start the whole project planning, go through and make adjustments to it, add more tasks to the bottom here, make changes to it. For example, promote this task. You can open up the details as I did it before. So you just see like the start and finish. You can change that the duration. You can work with buckets and sprints, so you can organize all of the different tasks as you desire with it. With each task as well, there's a checklist. So in case you want to really um, work through that certain points to, okay, I need in this task, I need to do this, and that. So you can really as well then add these items here to the checklist and then as well cross it out later. So this as well works very convenient with that. And as well, of course, we have dependencies. You can add more columns here. So you can add the efforts, you can add as well the start and the finish dates. So for example, everything is kind of scheduled starting from the day on. Duration is currently here 2 days, and I can just go in here, change it to 5 days, and this will then update. In this case, then the finish date. Where we have it here. So the finish date, saying it will be in 5 days, and then you can just go wild with your project plan with that. And as well, then, for example, for all different, as mentioned, so you can work with buckets, you can work with sprints here. So you have your default sprint here, you have your backlog, and then just maybe sprint or plan out the sprints like sprint one and things like that. Make sure always give start and finish dates of that. So you add this, and then you want to do this in the first sprint. So, and that's how easy it is. For the other two features, sorry, we jump on a project that is already have been in process. So you can see there is some more information on that. We do have some efforts or planned out. There's as well something already happened on the actual side. So we always have efforts, which are estimates on the left-hand side, which is our plan, and the actuals on the right-hand side, which is then that what really happens, which then comes through the time recording. And if I click on here, then magically I do have 3 features in total, not only the task plan. For here, let's look into our risks. So we just started our project and we want to make sure that all our risks, all our issues potentially are listed out. And there we go. So again, we get the information that is AI generated, and then I do get some certain risks which are based on my project, again, based on description, on the task, on the skills we use, on the whatever there is basically mentioned in my project data. So, and if we go with that, so we do have here like a healthcare assistant project. So there's some technology risks with that. So, and then if we then hover over that, it says that this is an AI project and it's cutting edge technology, and we need to have like this high level of expertise, and it's critical to identify like potential technology issues, risk, and things like that. So it makes me basically aware of that. This is all new, this all AI stuff, and you may want to make sure that you're informed about everything of that. As well, there is some legal and regularity issues. So there's this can bring in some risks. So you always get like this description with it. You get a probability. So we go as well from a 20% probability for medical breakthroughs, then maybe something because it's everything is evolving. Could be that there's some changes or some of the projects or the technology I want to use is then obsolete, up to like that there's maybe a limited acceptance for the users because they may or not have like this accuracy in working with these products. And as well, then it gives you like a mitigation plan to then sort this out to yeah, give you an assistance in working with the project. And then watching the clock, I told you it's getting close with the questions and answers. With the status report, we get two options. We do have an internal and external one. I'm always showcasing the internal one because it's the same as the external one, plus I get the financial reports. So let's wait a brief moment till my project report opens up. So what happens is it again kind of tracks down the data on my project and then writes a summary. I'm on budget, how my tasks look like, and then it looks like that. It's a very nice new control here. Again, makes me sure that this is AI generated. And of course, anytime you use AI, you use Copilot, you use anything of that functionality, um, review it, make sure that the information that is given it makes sense. I can show you perhaps in a moment because usually I got one issue of that. So review that and before you send it out to any customer or to any executive or something. So what happens here, we get a summary of our project. And trust me, I would never write such a big summary. It's just way too much for me to write. Say I let it generate by the AI. We made a good start here. It says like this is the start date. There is some committed hours already and things like that. And then as well, we look into the financials. Then we see like our estimates here. Mostly we do get our or the most revenue we see or the most most revenue is based on the estimates. So on the estimates of the time. So we do have time, expenses, and material. Material could be, for example, something like licenses, or you kind of shipping some hardware with that. Time is then our service, what, for example, then developers bring in, or for example, customer data or makers or things like that. And expenses are in basically expenses. But we see maturity of that of the costs and the revenue then is based on times. And as well, this comes in like with a little forecast. So for example, actually we do have 35 bucks in expenses, and then forecast we do have for nearly 5K. And then same with the actuals and the forecast for time reviews. So currently we do have 1,500 euro dollars, and forecast is like 55,000. And there's the one thing I want to mention. So usually that one says like financial report for project XYZ. So this is kind of not catching the name from time to time. So you want to make sure to always check your data and to review that. And then as well, kind of it explains, of course, too, that summary here, it explains whatever happens here in the chart. So it's as well brings in some more points on accessibility, and then as well the part which I like as well is the work overview part here with the tasks. So this is then showing the top task by resource. This will be then as well the part or the starting point of the external report. So here we then just see like how the tasks look like and then how they are distributed among the team. So we see, for example, that Patrick has some tasks on Azure. There as well some not yet assigned tasks. So these may need to be done. We have one task already completed, and then move on with that one, and then as well get the text to the chart we're seeing. So as well, again, accessibility is nice here, and as you could see, I can as well go in here and make some adjustments. So I can also as well kind of add more information from my side as a project manager, add there, make there some changes, make some corrections, perhaps then give her better feeling with that, just on the numbers. Good. That was the little demo part, and now I need to switch back to my presentation and then kind of finish as well on time. I'm pretty confident we can make that. Good. We saw the demo, and then we do have some keys for you as a takeaway. So, first of all, I already mentioned it. Every time you want to work with AI and Copilot and all this stuff, you want to proofread your results. So this is like the first pillar, that's like the first rule, but as well, in general, it's a very powerful tool. So this whole Copilot and AI capabilities, never mind if you're using Copilot or AI or from any other vendor. So it's a very powerful tool to enable the resources, to empower the users, to really make them look on like what is important for them, what is the fun part of the jobs in the best case. So that is really then enlightening in that really your users can really focus on what brings the company forward, and what fulfills them at the end of the day, which like if you close the laptop at the end of the day and you think like, oh, I did nothing today. I just sit on like meetings and answered 500 emails. You don't want to have that with your customers, with your users and with your employees. And you really want to, they close the laptop and say, oh, today was a good day. It was very productive. I did this and then this. So this is really what you want to achieve, and therefore AI can just support you and help you with that. And what you need to do with that is, of course, you need to understand your needs and requirements, right? So you need to understand what are your goals and what are your pain points today, what are the pain points of the people, how they spend their time, how they should not spend their time, perhaps, and then figure it out and then help them to improve the situation. And then last but not least, data. See, data is really the fuel of AI. So if you have crappy data, and the results will not be so good. So whatever there comes in, this as well affects the outcome of that. So, and as well that this not only goes with like the quality in the data itself, the data records, that you don't have any duplicates or you maintain the data in the same structure. This as well goes with the permissions of users. So I shouldn't see maybe all of the companies' secret NDA plans, but for example, our CEO should see it, or as well the new internal starting next week should not have all of the access to all of the data, because that's very important. Copilot in special will only access the data you as a user have access to. So it just really is the assistance you need in your daily work life, and you don't need to remember every single file, every single information, where on which SharePoint was this stored again. Now, usually you should be able to ask Copilot and it'll bring it up within a few seconds for you. So with that, there's the questions part. Maybe I can just move on and thank you for attending. As mentioned, just reach out. We can figure all the questions out in the next days, and then as well, again, back to Ashish. Reach out to him as well. I'm passing the ball back to you just in time. Um, as mentioned, Ashish will be in Singapore the next day, so it's the best option to meet him in person. He's a very nice guy. Yeah, with that, Ashish, back to you.
Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you. I wish we could stretch this for another hour. We could see the interesting insights that you brought for our audience. So thank you, everybody. Really appreciate your time and patience. Thank you for being on the webinar. We would be conducting similar such webinars very frequently, mostly maybe once a month. And like Sebastian mentioned, I am in Singapore, meeting a lot of Microsoft leaders. Uh, and we want to extend this to all our partners and customers. So if you are in Singapore, please feel free to drop me a line. I have already shared my email ID, or you can directly DM me or reach out to me on LinkedIn. Would be happy to connect and meet you in person. We can break some bread, we can drink some beer together, coffee, whatever you like, and would be happy to discuss anything that you have in mind. And Sebastian, of course, is an email away. It's early morning for him in Germany, so I really appreciate Sebastian for your time also. He's just back from vacation, and we wanted to do this for our audience in Singapore, and we want to really work with a lot of you guys. So thank you once again. And with this, we conclude. Natalia, I see you have also asked a question. Sebastian, if you want to quickly answer that, or we can obviously reach out to her separately and connect with her.
Yes, I was just typing the answer in, but I can
Okay.
as well read it out loud for everyone. So the question was, how much data do you need to use AI in project operations, and what do you need to predict risks and tasks? So the basically the answer would be what I've just started to write. Honestly, it's not much. So for the project plan, for the project task generation, you only need the project name and the description, and based on that, it will generate the project task plan. And for the risks and the status report, so for the status report, you obviously need some time recordings on the project. So this happens then basically when you move on with the project and you go further into the execution. So you staffing the resources, and then the resources start tracking times on the project, and then you're good to go with the status report. So this is done basically on that side. What you want to make sure, if you do have time recordings, you want to as well approve them so that they as well then be visible on the project. And for the risks as well, then covers mostly on the project plan. So once you generate your project plan, you can already then start with the risks. And I would suggest to create a project plan out all the details you want to have, and then assign the resources, and then start the risks assessment. You can as well do this multiple times. So you don't have to stick with the first result. You can always re-trigger it to like you have 500 risks. So it will kind of try to figure out everything, something. But you can kind of re-leverage that as well at a later point in the project when you have more detailed data. I hope that answers the question, and I will as well put it into the chat. Um, yeah, uh, Ashish, I think.
Cool. I think, yeah, I think, Sebastian, this was really great, and happy to have everybody present for this webinar. Like I said, we'll be conducting this very often. So thank you everyone, and we will connect soon. We'll have our next webinar coming in, so we'll keep you posted. For that, please follow proMX on LinkedIn, and you can follow Sebastian and me. The details are already shared. Happy to answer any questions, anything that you want to discuss in particular about your business, your process as a stakeholder. We are there to connect and discuss with you. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you so much as
Sebastian.
well from my side.
Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you everybody.
Thank you.